Hi guys, I had to come on camera for this one because this game that I'm reviewing now, Toradora Portable, is a little bit different from the ones that I've done beforehand. Don't get me wrong, it's still a visual novel type game, it's just there's certain elements to it that I have to come on to address before I even start talking about it. First of all, I have to apologise for the quality of it. My recording stuff just hasn't been working very well lately, so I had to basically record it off a TV, so I apologise for that. First thing about it that was a bit different is, generally with these visual novel games, I knew what was going on because they followed along the anime or manga series exactly, and all you have to do is read or watch those beforehand and you're fine. However, with this one, it actually follows a plotline that's completely original. It follows on after the final episode, which is the Christmas episode. I'm not actually sure if that's the final episode, I've never seen the series, but I'm reading online here that I have a review here from someone called Ton-kun. He's actually gone ahead and finished the game because I had no clue what was going on. And that's not just because I haven't seen the anime, it's because it's an original story. He wakes up in bed and he's lost his memory, so he has to, it's basically a way of saying, oh look, he can start off with any girl he wants now. So you follow along, you do the whole relationship thing, and it's very similar to the Code Geass kind of format. You go from location to location and interact with characters, and as you do well, it increases your standing with them, and then you get true endings and normal endings and bad endings for all the different girls. So there's multiple endings and all that jazz. The problem is, since you can't read Japanese, you can't really follow this along. It's quite different. I mean, with every other one that I've played, you can just read the manga, you know what's going on, and then when you come along to play the game, you can still have the general gist what's going on. It's really easy to kind of get through and know if you're doing something wrong. But with this one, I actually got to the game over screen quite fast, and by that I mean the credit screen, as in I finished with a go and it took me about 20 minutes. Then again, I know I did some things wrong because of the whole dating scenario thing, but I'm getting too much into that right now. I just need to explain that. So I won't be covering the game itself too much. What I will be covering mostly is just the mini games and the other kind of things you don't need to know Japanese for. But for this time, it's actually kind of annoying, because with the other games you could at least watch the series and know what's going on. The only thing you really lost out on by not playing the game is just another version of the same experience. But with this, it's an experience that only the Japanese people will get. No one else will ever experience this storyline, which according to this review is actually quite a good storyline that follows all different kind of variants and modifications in the original series. So this is something we'll never see outside of Japan. And really, is that really a good thing to do to the fans of the series? I mean, granted, the other visual novel games were never really something that I would recommend anyone, unless you were a die-hard fan of the series, would actually go to a huge deal of trouble to get. I'm talking about the visual novel ones, of course. Some other ones are actually quite good. But this one is just a storyline we're never going to see. So you can find the link to this review in the description area. It basically just follows along the actual storyline that's in the game. So if you want to find out about the story, look there. But if you're playing through it like I was and you don't know Japanese, you're not going to have a clue what's going on. And that's basically it. So I'll just throw some footage now and just kind of talk you through it. So there you go. Here's a review for Toradora Portable.
Basically, the game plays out much like all the other text-based dating sims, with a few little tweaks to the hub and interactions. You control the main character, Ryuji, as he scuffles around with his enormously inflamed head tumour and interacts with other characters to progress the story. During certain scenes, you have the ability to check for random junk that's just lying on the floor and either add it towards your overall completion or give it to chicks for impress points. Interacting with Tiger, or this girl here if you're unfamiliar with the story or any other characters, and I apologise if I said that wrong because I'd never actually heard her name being pronounced before, usually leads to the progression of the story. So you should probably leave her till you've dealt with every other available character. Now, if you give a certain girl a certain item, she will go out on a date with you, which, if you answer questions correctly, will go well. Otherwise, you will stay in a rut. Such is life. You can practice your date skills at home with a parrot, although I don't know if a talking bird would be a recommended and recognised practice in learning more efficient human interaction. You rinse and repeat this process with the girl you want, and then enjoy your ending. Now, as for the extra features, oh, you don't know the half of it. First is the images, which are fine, and then there's the music, which is fine as well. Then onto the mini-games, including the invisible block version of Breakout, a card memory game, and my personal favourite, controlling Tiger as she races to class kicking the crap out of fanboys as baseballs and footballs rain down from the heavens. The first two are pretty straightforward, and don't hugely variate outside of choosing what background picture you have. The classroom one actually requires a little bit of skill, and is definitely the best aspect of the game for me. Generally, you can get past most obstacles relatively easily, seeing as how you have no life bar, yet have to reach the end of the game before 9 o'clock and class starts and everything slows you down. There are 3 levels and each has an end boss, with the first being Pussy Puss McPussyton, the second being Ami, who knows how to roll kung fu, and the third who is a complete bitch! It's just Ami again, but this time she does that crap of backing off every time you almost hit her, and then she starts juggling your ass. Wow, it's stupidly hard. The only chance you have is to spam the uppercut, and then when she's on the floor, nailing her in the inflamed head a few times before repeating until she's off the screen. Then it's time for you to back off and then continue. It's fun, but the fact she just backs off just as you press the button is outrageous. Overall though, there you go. There is the game. Is it really worth $40 for the mini-games? Nope. Is it worth $40 for the mini-games and a good story? Oh yeah. Get it if you're a fan of Toradora and you're after some cheesy entertainment. The actual game itself isn't too hard to complete with some trial and error. Just being on a PSP, my batteries run out way too fast and I'm too lazy to recharge them. This minigame is actually insanely fun though. Someone hurry up and make an online flash version of it.